I love Africa, I love Kenya, I love everything about my country, but love alone doesn't put food on my table. Love alone doesn't fix the system.
On my part, I think I want to go. I want to leave
Now.
today. Given a chance, I'm out.
Yeah.
I know people. Some of my friends, families, they went to the USA. Some are in the UK, and they have made it. They have money. Money is not a problem, man, because they're where they're abroad. And us, the ones in Kenya, the truth is we are suffering.
Basically, I'd say we want a higher life more than we can be able to afford. And that's what pushes people to go to abroad.
Going is not bad. Staying is not bad. Choose your heart. Choose your heart.
Choose your struggle.
Choose your struggle. They say everything is hard, everything is easy, depending with the angle you're looking at it from.
Hi guys, my name is Busara Naman. I'm a journalist. I'm a news reporter and a news anchor, mainly covering politics, current affairs, and education. Also, I'm a podcaster, and I'm really happy to be here, man. Meeting up with all you guys, talking about issues affecting us as youths.
Yes.
Hi guys, my name is Florence Awiti. I am a content creator, a filmmaker, a lover of life, a stylist, and we really have to have these conversations because we have to have them. The time is now, and let's have it.
All right. And Mimi, my name is Robbie Omondi. I'm a mother, I'm a journalist, I'm a YouTuber, I'm a content creator. My specialty is in health, digital content creation, and that's what I do most of the time, if not all the time. But this conversation, this particular one also interests me because I believe I still fall under the bracket of youth. So we have to have it. We are the ones who are supposed to have it, and it's a pleasure to be here. Yes.
Hi guys.
Hi.
I'm Sean, a professional cinematographer, professional filmmaker, professional photographer, and also a content creator. I'm glad to be here with you guys. And let's start talking about matters concerning people who want to travel and people who don't want to travel. So as for me, I'd say I am 50-50 about the chance of me going or not going. Because basically, the creative, what can I say? The creative area, the creative industry rather, has opened up my eyes into knowing and understanding that you can get your own money, and it's so easy to get money out of your own creativity. And it's as easy as using your creativity, and creativity is something to do with the brains.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily book smart, just street smart. Like, you have to be smart to get into the creative industry, and you need to also, you can't work alone, obviously. Even a soldier doesn't go to the field alone.
Yeah.
So for us as youth, mainly, we need that momentum to be pushed. We don't necessarily need to go seek for jobs outside. We need to build our economy first and getting to understand that the situations we're going through right now, we should focus on them rather than focusing on going to abroad to make money and working for the white people or the Caucasian people. And whereas in Kenya, we need people to work for us and work for ourselves. Yeah.
Lovely.
On my part, I think I want to go. I want to leave
Now.
today. Given a chance, I'm out. Because let me tell you, first, for the social validation. I know people say, oh, you should do things because you like. No, I want to do it because of the social validation, because I can tell you for free, Robbie.
Yeah.
I know people, some of my friends, families, they went to the USA, some are in the UK, and they have made it. They have money. Money is not a problem, man, because they're where they're abroad. And us, the ones in Kenya, the truth is we are suffering.
Say
Unemployment. Oh, God.
Talk about yourself.
Corruption. SHA is not working. Healthcare is not working. And when they tell you the stories out there, things are working. The system is working. In Kenya, the systems are not working. Everything is failing us. The government is failing us. We're not getting the services that we are supposed to get as Kenyans. The basic needs that we need. Education, better education, not just education, better healthcare. Infrastructure, like where I come from in Tana River County, if you go there, you'll wonder if we have a government, because no roads,
Nothing
no
is-
hospitals. We have one school in our village. Everything is so wrong. So if given a chance today, I'm leaving. I want to go. It's just that things are not working. But I'd rather go there, because I believe if I go there, my life will be better. There'll be greener pastures out there compared to here.
Yeah.
So it's the social norm, the social validation that we have had, we have seen, we have witnessed, that if you go out there, I don't know what they're doing though. There are different types of jobs.
What would you do?
I would want to have a white collar job if I go there, because I don't want to work these other jobs like sweeping, cooking, washing old people, bathing, gardening. I don't know if I can do those jobs, man. I want a white collar job. I want to be a teacher, go to a school every morning and teach. I want to be a nurse. I would rather be that, or I'd rather be still a journalist. Go to the studio, go to the field to cover stories and be a voice for the voiceless, but not working the hard jobs. I don't want it, but I would really want to go. But here's the problem. As an African, if you go there, chances are you're going to get these other
blue-collar
jobs.
jobs.
Yeah, you're not going to get them.
Wow.
I love Africa, I love Kenya, I love everything about my country, but love alone doesn't put food on my table. Love alone doesn't fix the systems. Love alone doesn't change the corruption. And I also believe you can only change something if you're looking at it from an outside point of view. So like if I come out and I look at it from a point of an expert or somebody who's left home, I believe I'm able to change it better compared if I'm inside, because I'm clogged. I don't really understand what to implement, what not to implement, and I'd want to go outside so that I can come back and implement these new systems, create new jobs, learn about the thing that they're doing that's working for their country, so that I can come to my country and actually make it work. Because I love my country. I love Kenya to the moon and back, but it's not working. Things are not working. As you had said, the systems are not working. There are not jobs. There's so many creatives who do not know what to do with their creativity, because we don't have systems that include creativity. So we are based on we are made to really create from ourselves. But in this sense, we need support from the government. We need support from our systems. And for us to, if you go outside and then we notice what's actually happening outside, we are able to create. So for me, I want to go outside and learn, and then come back and create my country for me and for the generations to come.
Wow.
That's nice.
For me and Sean,
Same WhatsApp group.
I don't ever wish to go and work outside. And looking at, let's say, for example, Africa, 60% of the population in Africa are youth. Imagine if let's say even only 30%, half of the Africa's population goes to UK or US to seek for job opportunities. What does that mean? Remember, we're talking about youth as young people who still have the energy to invest. That energy is the same energy that we're supposed to invest. There's a very good reason why we are still the developing countries, let's say Africa. We are still under the developed countries, apart from 1 or 2 countries that are underdeveloped. If we're still developing, it means we, the youth, are the ones who are supposed to invest more in what Africa needs to be a developed country so that we can be like those countries that we feel their health systems are better, their education systems are better, they are paying market job, their white collar jobs are paying better. The same way right now we have, let's say, for example, AI. We have we are in the digital era. Most of us are tech savvy. You can go to your phone right now and apply for a job in the UK and possibly get that job. Why are we not doing those things? Why do we want to feel like, I want to go. In fact, I want to go today. You see how you're feeling like already the mentality we have, there's nothing we can do about what we have. All we need to have a better life is on the other side. They say, CG, grass is greener where you water it. But sometimes we Africans or we Kenyans are watering the wrong grass or the fake grass. Most of us are looking for jobs that will pay me 100,000, for example, overnight. What systems have we put in place to see us grow towards, a paycheck that is actually comfortable for us? Again, most of us youth have migrated. We have internal immigration from the rural areas to the urban areas, which is now overpopulated with the young people. The areas where we are supposed to develop, we are running away from those places. The same way you've come from Tana River to
I left
Nairobi.
it with one hospital.
Right now, is it the same one hospital? Yes. How many of your community people, young people, are not there in Nairobi? You understand?
Wow.
If we start going back to the drawing board and understanding what is it that we're going to look for in these other countries, I'll give a very good example of our education system. Recently, we transferred to CBC. That CBC is working in many countries, including some African countries. I think Ethiopia, or I don't know which African country, has really invested in CBC, and it's working perfectly. The reason why I would personally vouch for CBC, for example, we are growing a very creative generation.
Economy,
A generation where you can think whatever you can do is what is going to earn you money. You don't have to wait to go sit in an office for you to earn. And CBC is hands-on. It's a hands-on curriculum. And if we can support that particular and put in place the right measures, make sure that the people who are leading it understand what it requires. Because again, you can't implement something that has not been tried and tested, and it's working. So I feel like most of our things in Africa, the reason we're running away, or many young people are running away, it's because things have been implemented without being tested, with people who are not knowledgeable about what they're implementing. Most of them are doing it just to siphon money or to, become corrupt. Get money one way or another. And it is the taxpayers' money, your money as a youth, as a young person who is working so hard. You will go to those countries that you're talking about. Your first job will not be that white-collar job.
Yeah, you have to sweep.
But I also have a question, because you're saying that we can work remotely from their companies, but do you know they come here to get cheap labor? For example, even employees getting, let's say, $100 an hour, they'll come to Kenya and they're gonna pay us like $10 an hour. So it still feels like staying somehow. It's a way of making us become even poorer, because the rise of remote work, it's because they've come to take cheap labor from Africa. So for some, in as much as it works for us because it's better than what actually the local governments are paying, but still we're still getting the cheaper end of the bargain.
Maybe we should change ourselves, because you see, I believe why other countries would pay a certain amount, they also consider the economic level of these countries and the living standards of people. So the living standards, for example, of a person living in the UK and our living standards are totally different. Even if you compare, let's say, their lease, they call them lease, we call them rent, how theirs is different from ours. And I believe most of those, when we're doing our due diligence as young people, again, in the era of AI and, technology, some of the things we need to look at are those things. Because again, if you're going to be employed and someone within that company is being paid a certain amount and you feel it's unfair, the good thing with, I believe now again with those people, is they listen and they wouldn't want to underpay you. Like in Kenya, we know you will go to an office, the person seated next to you, you're doing the same thing, or even you're doing more than they're doing, but the pay is very different.
Yeah.
I believe those countries, the already developed countries, that the system is different. So that's why, Pia, I agree, most people leave because of that. The discrepancies and the disparity when it comes to paying people, and you know what people actually deserves. If you know the boss, you'll be paid more.
Oh, and another thing, the gender card. If you're a woman, you are going to be paid less compared to a man like Sean. We might find that maybe I'm even older than him.
Yeah.
I'm even more experienced than him, but because he's a man, there's this notion in many companies, and especially media houses, you'll get that men are being paid more because they believe they are family makers, they're the homemakers, they're breadwinners. Yeah, breadwinners. What they don't know is we are supposed to be paid more, but anyway, but I would go because of issues like that. Maybe in developed countries,
Yes,
they don't have issues. There's equality.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sean, you've been quiet. Say something.
So basically, I think there's one problem I've noticed in African countries is we try as much as possible as to be more intelligent and more financially stable than our fellow African. So basically, I'd say we want a higher life more than we can be able to afford, and that's what pushes people to go to abroad. So, but basically, if you just sit down and wonder, we have a lot of things that we need to achieve as an African country.
Yeah.
So we have to create job employments amongst our own youth people. We have a lot to do in our communities. We have a lot to do in terms of sharing content and showing people how to become one of our creative economy. So basically, there's a lot to do in terms of the youth and also our community. So basically, you don't have to go to abroad to achieve money. There are people who still live in Kenya, people as young as 22, and they're earning almost millions in a year annually. So if you calculate that 1 million in a year, even people who go to Dubai in 2 years, they won't come back to Kenya with that 1 million. So basically, it's basically a waste of time, because what they're offering you there is what you're being offered here, but you can't work here in Kenya because you don't want to be seen as a person who's washing toilets, a person who's wiping tables, but you want to do it in another country because you're afraid to be judged. So the same thing they're offering outside there is the same thing they're offering here. Just that here it is hard to get a job, but once you get it, you actually don't want to leave because it's the same thing. But there, you'll go there, you'll have, it's fine, you'll have free housing, you'll have free food, you'll have all of those things. But if you actually consider differentiating between those countries and Kenyan countries, a good example, our food is way much better. Our food is way much better.
Yeah.
So their food are mostly GMO.
GMO.
Yeah, and generic
So
Yeah.
another thing, African countries, if you check worldwide, in Africa, at least we are one of the least people who get cancers. In those abroad countries, very many people who live with cancers, and it's because of those foods that have GMO. They have a lot of things like preservatives. But in Africa, we are natural. We eat things that come straight from the farm, from your farm to the table. So basically, I don't think, personally, for me, I'd advise someone to start their own business and to venture more into creative and online business rather than going to abroad, because that's where the money is. That's where the investors are. So
Yeah, talking about food, I remember a friend of mine, she was telling me like getting an avocado out there is expensive, and here we can buy it for 20 bob. Jesus,
free.
Or
From
free
the
from the tree or the shamba. Getting managu, the traditional vegetables, they say it's so expensive. So the way it's so expensive, you'd rather just go and get a burger, get a pizza. It's cheaper to buy a burger. It's cheaper to get
Fast
cheapos.
foods are cheaper.
Yeah, they're cheaper.
Yeah.
But if you'd want to cook from scratch, it's expensive because you'll have to go to the store. I don't know what the grocery store to get all those things, and it's really expensive. But just echoing whatever he said in terms of economy and the digital economy and stuff, I think what will make me stay, the government should invest more in industries, because that is the only thing remaining right now. Because if you look in different parts of the country, let's say in Western, we had industries that they were the Mumias sugar. We had sugar and the sugarcane and stuff, but now because of I don't know what happened. Now they are all dead. Industries all over the countries are dead. And those industries are the only places where the youth or Kenyans, the women, they use to depend on to just make ends meet. And the industries are almost dead. Now the government should revive industries. And if not reviving them, they should create more industries in different sectors so that many people can get the jobs. And when we get the jobs, the money will start circulating. Because if I go to Tana River and open an industry, let's say, I don't know what kind of an industry, but people will get employment, and then the things that people will create there, they'll be sold in the area or within the country, and then money will start circulating from within. But currently, everything is hard because there are no industries. They should invest in that, and also create an environment for people to have businesses. Because if you talk to young people right now, they're trying to have that business, but the environment is not conducive. Unaanza biashara, the next thing you know, it's done. Umefilisika. You can't do it because the environment is not conducive enough. So the government should venture in those things so that I can stay
Let
in
me
Kenya.
tell you, Busara, something you've mentioned there. Two things. You said about industries. I'll tell you what happens. We have sugar, we have coffee, we have tea in our country. We produce a lot of sweet potatoes in the country. Lots of these things, we can produce them. We produce a lot of flowers in the country. What happens? All these products are exported as raw materials. Then they're brought back as finished products, and they're sold to us thrice, 10 times the price that we could have bought them if these same products were produced and packaged locally. That's why most people think we can't do things here within ourselves, or that's why we need to go outside. Youth, as I said before, we have the energy. Remember, we have come from the rural areas. We left our parents back at home with their land. They can stay with the land. We want to go where?
The city.
To the city, where all the good life is. And the good life means most of us will try so much to live beyond our means so that we can fit in to the brackets of people who are living life. The same thing we're trying to run away from again, to go to, to the developed countries to go and work there. Now, if we take some steps back and understand that money, you do know how much a farmer makes?
Oh, a lot.
But we don't want to get dirty. I don't want to go to the farm. I don't want to be the one, uprooting sweet potatoes and, taking the djembe and going to the farms.
Going to the farm, it means you have to go to shags.
Exactly. And that's where we are running away from. Remember, I'll take a good example of, my mountain people. Those people have subdivided their land to an extent. You have nowhere to build. As a young man, you need to build at home. You have no space to build, meaning you cannot farm, meaning there's nothing for you. You just have to be in the city. The city is getting crowded. The businesses that we're talking about we want to open, Busara has already opened that business and is doing very well. By the time I want to start and get to where you are as a business person, it will take me ages, or I have to cut shortcuts and be corrupt for me to get to where you are.
Yep.
But
You understand?
to echo on that.
So when we start going back to the drawing board, there is a lot of things that we can do within our own ecosystems to make sure that we don't have to. We can, but we don't have to go to travel to get employment. Before we end, maybe I'll talk about health, where is most of the things that I do within the healthcare system. But I see Awiti is saying
in the corruption, yeah.
Yes.
Because I feel like, yes, you're completely right. I understand that. But I also feel like our systems reward a lot of connection rather than competence and talent. So when you're talking about your farm and everything else,
Yeah.
how many farmers, literally, when they take their farm produces to these industries, they get really, really, really bad rates compared to people who are well known. So it still trickles back to the systems. It's the same thing that's making us leave the country, because in as much as we're really talented, in as much as we want to create businesses, in as much as we want to stay, home is not comfortable enough, because I'm really trying to get myself out of my comfort zone, but the government is not letting me. Like, for example, if I start a business, there is kanjo all the time. They'll want to take the little that I make.
Yeah.
So by the time I am empowered, it's so stressful enough. I'm like, you know what? I can't cut the show.
Yeah.
I have to go make my own money, because for some weird reason, if you leave the country, once you come back, there's some level of respect that you get. People view you as an expert. People think you know what you're talking about. So that also creates an impact in our own country.
But
Now,
I have a problem with all this traveling. Before we forget, me, I still have phobia for the young people we've seen going out there to seek for greener pastures, and they come back in coffins. I think
Yeah.
that has just given me PTSD.
I know,
It has given me, I don't know, that makes me just want to travel as a tourist and come back home safe and sound and continue. I can easily go to the farm than risk my life.
Talking about deaths, there are young people from different countries in Africa that are dying in sea.
Yeah.
They're trying to use panya routes. I don't know if panya routes is an English word, but they're using shortcuts to go to those developed countries, and they're dying. For instance, you can say in Libya, there are stories there. I think Tunisia, I don't know. The young people are dying there. They're so desperate. They are using ways, unconventional ways that the ways that are not even safe.
Yeah.
They're just trying to live, trying to go. I don't know what to say or what to do so that can stop. Maybe they should use the right channels.
But also me, one thing I usually say, let's say we want to work in all these other countries. When African countries and, the European countries can create systems that enable us to work anywhere in the world, regardless of our ethnicity, regardless of our, our skin colors. We've seen police harassing Black people in the European countries, and it breaks my heart badly. So I'm imagining a world where anyone can work anywhere freely, so long as you have your papers right, you've gone through the education systems, and we make, let's say, education system is the same in Kenya and in the US or in any other European countries. If we have the same systems and we've gone through the same education system, for example, and me as a Black woman or as an African, I can work in a European country so long as I have my papers right. Because if I have my education, I've done my I have my degree or my master's or my diploma, and it warrants me and qualifies me to work anywhere, it will be easier that way. But the fact that we have to go through systems that are very different, like it's as different as day and night, it makes a very big difference, and it makes it harder and makes people like me not want to go through that stress.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sean, sorry.
So back to what I was saying. Basically, I've seen a lot of peer pressure in the current youth, the Gen Z mainly. So we want to live a life where we get to post on Instagram, TikTok that we are on a yacht, we're on a beach somewhere. A good example right now, the iPhone 17 just came out.
Ooh,
How many
yeah.
people are trying to have it? There's a video I saw yesterday, of a person who has trended over because of selling his kidney to get an iPhone 17.
Damn.
People
I don't
will
know
do
if you guys
things.
have seen it.
Yeah.
So peer
That's
pressure
just-
is something we need to get rid of. We need to start empowering our young youth and also telling them that there is employment beyond going to abroad, and trying to initiate them in creative economy to show them that you can earn your own money by just sitting and relaxing at home
Yeah.
while you're chilling and taking your coffee. And another thing, I just feel like also we tend to lean on too much on I want a better lifestyle. I want a lifestyle where I have money to show my friends, to ball with my friends. So I feel like that is one of the things that is causing mental health, poor mental health, because you want to be the same way your friend is. So forgetting that maybe you're from a wealthy background or maybe you're from a less fortunate background, but you want to be on the same level. But you want to be on the same level rather than be on top of them or like pull them to be like you. So I feel like that's where we're failing as a youth, and we need to do better. We need to empower ourselves, and we need to work to an extent of showing people that you don't need to necessarily go to abroad. You can in your own country, and I believe that will also help with the politics currently by showing people we can make Kenya as great as South Africa. For a good example, talking about our creative economy, South Africa and Nigeria are as far as possible than Kenya because their films. Kenya currently we have little films. The last successful film was it Nairobi something?
Nairobi Half-Life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was the next big thing, but the way we escalated it wasn't how I expected. We need to have our own film that push people or bring investors to Kenya because we are our own game changers currently. Speaking of the whole world, people are trying to lose their white collar jobs and go to the creative economy because in the next 10 years to 20 years everything will be on phone. Currently banks, how many times do you visit banks?
I don't remember the last time.
So everything
you
will
can actually
be
open a bank account on your phone.
exactly. So
Just-
everything will be on the internet.
Yeah.
So that's where our minds need to settle to the fact that you can make money online right now. I'll quote what my friend has said here. You can get a job from UK, but you don't need to go there.
You can
there are
work
people
from
who
home,
there are people who
remote.
type and get as little as $15 a day.
As
Well,
much.
us, that's someone's
It's a
rent.
lot.
That's someone's rent in a month.
Yeah.
But you don't want to type. You're too lazy to hustle and get your own laptop. You're too lazy to go out there look for jobs. Like you just need to have that mentality that wake up, go grind, come back home with like as little as 3,000 shillings. That's okay for you to afford like what you want for the evening, whether you're staying alone, that's okay. But people are targeting to go to abroad just because you want to post on Instagram that you're on a beach, you're on a yacht, you're with your mzungus, you're with your... So you see, everyone wants the lifestyle they can't afford.
Is it wrong to want
Yeah.
the big lifestyle?
It's not wrong it's not wrong to want a good life, but many young people are not patient.
I know.
enough.
Okay,
to
don't
earn.
get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's not wrong, but let's be honest. Most people who go to abroad, their families are back home struggling.
Yeah.
Thoroughly.
It's either the mother is sick, the dad is sick, but immediately you call the phone, they are not picking up your phone. They just change immediately. So that's why people say money can really change you.
Yeah.
Money can really change your mindset.
Busara,
Yeah,
when
and-
you go abroad, will you go back to Tana River and build schools?
Yes, of course. If I go abroad, if I get the money. The problem is, I hear that when you go abroad, sometimes things there are tough also.
Yeah.
Because in terms of housing, the rent there is higher. The food is expensive. There's no transport. It's not like here I can board a matatu from home to town and I
Or
pay
a
just 50.
motorbike.
Yeah, and I pay only 50 bob. There you must have a car. So chances are you're going to have loans. And there are a lot of things that you have to pay for. It's not like us, you can choose to use gas, you can use charcoal or kerosene.
firewood.
There, it is a must. You have to pay for internet, electricity. There's a lot, and the money sometimes it's not as much as we think it is. But echoing whatever he said, we are game changers, the youth, in matters of ensuring that we make our country more conducive for us to thrive in. Like, for instance, we need to make solutions to our problems currently. There are a lot of things that are happening, and us as the young people, the youth, we can make solutions for the problems that we are facing, not running away from the problems, because when you come back, now who is going to
You're
solve?
still going to meet the same problems.
Yeah, you're gonna meet-
and that's why I'm
yes.
very proud of the young people. Like, historically speaking, the Gen Zs made me so proud.
Yeah.
There is no time where I wished I was a Gen Z just for the sake of being just to be in that age bracket of a Gen Z, age-wise.
Yeah.
The Gen Z created a movement where we are able to hold accountable our leaders.
leaders,
yeah.
They're the problem. We like it or not, we have to have a leadership in a country. But those leaders, they're the ones I'm telling you, they're trying to export our raw materials and bring the same raw materials back as finished goods and make sure that we are buying them at a very high price. Most of the things that we're supposed to have for free. When you go to Kericho, there's a lot of tea. But even the people in Kericho complain about the same tea, the same coffee. Where does it go? Exported as raw materials, comes back as finished goods, very expensive. Earlier on, I mentioned about health systems. We are living in a country where if you compare our health systems to the ones, or even education, in European countries, even people with money, the richest of people, take their children to public schools. Because the government has ensured a proper investment when it comes to public facilities, proper investment. You would rather in the European countries take your child to, let's say, the equivalent of Nairobi Primary School, a public school, than take them to whatever a private school, you know. And in Kenya, everyone is trying as much as possible to afford a private school because that public school has been made in a way that the systems are just bad. Nothing is working. You go to a hospital. At least now I see in Kenya, still, we have only progressed when it comes to our private facilities where we can able to see someone is, ailing from cancer and they're treated in Kenya to fruition. That was not the same case 3-4 years ago down the line. Right now, we are seeing those systems. Right now, you can have, let's say, for example, a bone marrow transplant in Kenya in a facility, but still a private facility where you need to pay lots of money.
So I have a cousin of mine, a very close cousin of mine. He got scammed almost 4 times before he actually got the time to go.
If you can get 500,000 to take yourself outside the country,
Yeah.
surely that 500,000 can do something
A lot.
in your country.
A lot.
So, like, again, change your mindset and use what you have to change your life.
I saw a TikTok video the other day. The guy was talking about how women and even men are suffering out there, especially if your papers have expired or if you went there illegally.
Basically, I'd say we want a higher life more than we can be able to afford, and that's what pushes people to go to abroad.
Going is not bad. Staying is not bad. Choose your hard. Choose your hard.
Choose your struggle.
Choose your struggle. They say everything is hard, everything is easy, depending with the angle you're looking at it from.
What if your child's first step into school was their very first step into the future? At Akons International School, every classroom is a launchpad. Every child uniquely known. Every lesson a spark of discovery. Our world-class facilities, including the guided reading program, don't just build skills, they build confidence. From sports to science, from music to languages, your child is never boxed in. Clean spaces, happy faces, global minds rooted in care. Because at Akons International School, wellness Discipline and joy go hand in hand. We offer Cambridge International program from early years to A levels. Choosing a school isn't just an academic decision. It's a decision about trust, care, and possibility. Imagine more for your child. Choose us today, because at Akons International School, we inspire and empower. Welcome to Akons International School, Kigali.
You're taking some pictures and you're gonna be saying before and after.
In Rwanda, Kazakhstan relations.
So as we talk about, seeking for greener pastures, we all have different ideas of greener pastures, not only looking for job opportunities. I know I may not be speaking on my own behalf, but I know very many ladies, young ladies, older ladies who say, I don't think my dating life belongs in Kenya. My lover is not in this, the man who God kept for me does not exist
in this continent.
Africa. There are those who say, I would rather go and look for, God forbid, a man who is almost going back to his creator to just be with them so that when they're gone, I'm left with, property and money, and, a lot of money. So I know of a lot of, not even women alone, even men, young boys who say, I would rather go and look for a cougar or an older woman to be with and just, take care of their pleasures so that I can get money. And that is a point where I feel like also that is one of the reasons they leave the country feeling like men in the country or women in the country don't have financial capabilities that they need for them to have the good life.
And talking about that, I saw a TikTok video the other day. The guy was talking about how women and even men are suffering out there, especially if your papers have expired or if you went there illegally and you were hoping maybe you're going to get married to this guy and then you get the papers right and then you live happily ever after. So now people are even blackmailing them. The moment the guy knows that you don't have the papers, you're going to do whatever he wants you to do. And people are going through gender-based violence, different
Sexual,
kinds.
gender-based violence,
yes.
especially.
You're doing things that Africans don't do. You're gonna do them, the things. I know what you're saying. I hope you understand.
Yeah.
And people are suffering out there. And if you come back, you will never go back again because you don't have the right papers. Yeah. So you have to endure, kuvumilia, because you need those papers. Now you'll have to undergo the SGBV there, you cannot even report. Why are you going to report? You don't have the papers. Someone has assaulted you. You cannot go to the police because you got there, you don't have papers. Now you have to endure and suffer just because you want this good life. So people are suffering out there. So I think for the youth, if you're gonna go abroad, please ensure that you have the right papers so
The
that
right
you don't
channels.
get
Use
use
the
the
right
right channels.
Exactly, the
You
right
don't get
channels.
blackmailed.
Especially that, not even only like the old mzungus, but these agencies that front, they're taking people
yeah.
outside and they're scamming. Because in my head, I'm like, if you can get 500,000 to take yourself outside the country,
Yeah.
surely that 500,000 can do something
A lot.
in your country.
A lot.
So like, again, change your mindset and use what you have to change your life here. Because there's been a lot of rise of con men, really bad organizations that are really making our people go to these countries, and then they get stranded, and then they sold land, everything they sold, only for perpetrators like this to make their lives even worse and harder. You can imagine you've sold everything that you own, and then you've gone to that country and then there is nothing. Now you're coming back, you're deported, starting from zero, and your family sold ancestral land. Like, come on.
Even before going, the story we did about Nandi, the people, the parents who paid lots of money to an agency for the children,
Eldoret, yeah.
to go get education. Those children did not even step to an airport.
Yeah, the guy, the agency ate the money.
Consumed money for
Oh,
more than
Jesus.
200 parents. These are parents, number one, who have sold their land, as you've said. They've sold their cattle. Most of them are from these pastoral communities. You sold everything you've ever owned under your name for your child to go and get education that we're talking about again. But still, they've not even stepped out of this. People who have never left Eldoret even to Nairobi. Never.
Yeah, and then when you go to the government, they say, we don't know what to do.
Who did you give your money to? That's the
Yeah.
question you're being asked. We are our own enemies again.
But you see, if you're not desperate, you cannot be manipulated. So people need to also stop the desperation for some weird reason.
Let me tell you, I was almost, I
Conned.
don't know, not really conned,
Okay.
but there's an agency, because, listen, my mother used to work at immigration.
Okay.
So she's retired. She was retiring, and then you get the retirement money. And then we were like, we can use her retirement money to take my brother abroad. And I was told there's an agency in Eldoret. I can pay 500,000. They'll ensure everything is in order, like ensuring you get the visa, ensuring that you get a place to stay when you get there. And if he's going for education, they'll get a university. Like, they'll do everything for you. You just look for the money, and then everything will sort itself out. So as I was doing my due diligence, and then everyone was like, Eldoret is a no-go zone because you don't know who to trust. Here's the thing. There are some trustworthy agencies that can take you abroad.
True.
But hundreds of them, they are
A
fraudulent.
lot,
That's the
yeah.
problem.
What did you do?
We ended up not
paying the
because
money?
I was so scared. I was like, can you imagine my mother's retirement money to just be ate, chopped?
It will drink water.
No, I was so scared. I can't be the one.
Yeah.
I was not. I didn't want to bring disappointment.
news.
Yeah, nijichocha. I can do this. I have
I know
contacts.
someone.
I know someone. And then a few months later, where did the money go?
Yeah.
I didn't want to be the one to go through that, especially after the stories that I had from Eldoret.
Okay.
But also, I also feel like that's also partly our fault. Like, not the youth or people who are being the victims, because you've been told, like, for you did your due diligence. Most people don't.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If you're not desperate enough, you cannot be manipulated. You need to, like, take your time. Literally, there is internet. Just do something as simple as Google. Check where are their offices? What are their registration numbers?
Their history.
I feel like people don't really do their due diligence when it comes to stuff like this, because they really are desperate to leave.
And youth are not patient people. See, we've seen stories even online where they're saying, you write to the HR and tell them, bye, my boyfriend will take care of me. Just because yesterday they were asked, why did you come to work late? Why didn't you do, why did you leave early? So we're just not patient people. We're not willing to go through the processes of actually making it in life because we can make it, Even the people we know who, apart from the old moneyed people, we know people who have told their stories of how they began from a very low level or a low place in life and grew whatever they have to a place where they're comfortable. We are not patient enough to do those things. But also, I don't blame us for being impatient. The systems. Today we have this government that has different rules. The next government will come in with different things.
They scrap everything. Yeah. They introduce new
and then
things.
Within the job groups and the job environments that we have, even there, everyone wants to bring in their nieces and nephews, their girlfriends and boyfriends to work under them, and those who are qualified are left out. So again, it goes back to the same cycle of where if I don't go, I'm going to fall into depression. I'm going to go nuts. I'm going to sell my father's land without him knowing to 5 people.
Speaking of fraudster and fraud companies, do you guys actually know you can get to check if a company is legit through as easy as the internet?
Yeah.
So nowadays, I think the agencies they actually lie to you and they later off, like they totally cut all connections with you. They ghost you. So I have a cousin of mine, a very close cousin of mine. He got scammed almost 4 times before he actually got the time to go to Dubai. He was scammed by 4 different companies, all in Westlands, and yeah.
Uptown.
Yeah.
Where does he get all this money?
So basically, the parents used to put the money.
Wow.
First time, actually, it was a friend to the parents who actually
connected.
So I think that's also one of the reasons I don't want to go, because I'm also afraid of...
You're skeptical.
Yeah, I'm skeptical of the fraudsters. So I'd rather tell my parents, start a business for me. If the money is there, I'll take myself.
Exactly.
So, yeah, the fraud companies are there. They're real. I've had different stories. Also, my own brother got scammed once. The second time during Guyana.
Hey, I'm scared.
They're there.
But those scammers, those scammers have become clever.
Yeah.
They will take a few people. They will actually help a few people, but scam several of them.
Yeah.
A few will
There'll be
actually go
testimonials
through.
of people who...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are those who will go through the wrath of being scammed.
If you go to JKIA, you'll see. You will see those agencies taking photos of the people that are going. Yeah, to post on social media.
Others are just taking photos and then they go back to...
Taking photos to post on social media. It's there in JKIA. Anytime you go to JKIA, utaona. On the exit side and on the entry. All of them have their suitcases and everything. Take photos, go back in the bus and go back home.
Our girls are suffering out there. You listen to the stories of how these house managers
They're treated
so badly. They come back in coffins, or there are a lot of issues that happen that side. And the government, every day, people are crying. Families, there are activists, human rights activists telling the government, please do something to ensure that our daughters, our girls, our sisters, they are safe out there, because many are really suffering out there. But then they have no option because they don't want to be in Kenya. They want to go out there and make something for themselves, to get some money. And now they go there and they suffer. And many of them come back in coffins.
There's something that we mentioned, what she said about, make sure you have the right papers, make sure you've used the right channels to travel to some of these countries, because there are countries that don't have diplomatic relationships with your mother country. Let's say Kenya and a certain country do not have good diplomatic relationships. And you expect that when something happens to someone who went to that country illegally, the country will not intervene.
No, but Robbie, in country like hizo milki za Kiarabu, they go there legally. You get there, the manager, the person you're working for, let's say, they will confiscate your passport, your ID, your everything, and now you are subjected to torture and you are being mistreated, and you can't leave until your contract ends. Maybe if you're contracted for 2 years, you will suffer for 2 years doing things that, like the girls on TikTok, you listen to the girls there, they undergo sexual assault, sexual gender-based violence with their bosses, and you can't leave. Where are you going to? You'll suffer for 2 years until your contract ends, and then your passport is given back to you for you to go back to your country.
This is what I think about that. When you're in a country or you're going to work in a country, make sure that, number one, again, do your due diligence. Whether you're going there and someone is pretending to be a good person and then they're someone different in the next 2-3 days or a week, when you have your papers, right? Take even photos, for example, of your papers and the processes. Make sure you document those processes and make sure someone else has those papers or has the evidence of the processes that you used to travel or to be in a particular place that you are. When you've done that, I believe those countries have systems where I can be able to report one way or another. Something has to have, there has to be a way of a way out. Unless you're willing to just stay there for those 2 years and be ready to be treated anyhowly. I don't think anyone will just be in a place that they're suffering comfortably for 2 years and not wanting out.
They want out. It's just that they can't leave.
Some houses you're not even given food for days.
And it's so unfortunate that our government is quiet about issues like this. Unless somebody is actually dying or somebody is about to die, then that's when we start like screaming on social media. I honestly thank God that we have social media, because most of these cases we wouldn't have known if we didn't scream about it. And it saddens me that we have to push and push and push and push for them to just say, okay, cut the show or stop doing this to my people. And the government never does anything. They don't. Even the victims, they never show up.
Would it be better if maybe these families that our girls or our boys are going to are vetted, like the families are vetted, and even have a history of who was working there before? Where are they? What do they have to say about that particular place?
That's difficult.
You see how we have agencies in Kenya that offer house help services, house manager services, and they can be able to tell you she was working at a certain place before, and you can actually be able to trace even that employer and understand their whereabouts and such stuff like that. I think it goes back to what I was saying. We have a relationship, inter-country relationship, where we are able to say, I know if I'm going to work in this country, this is what I expect. And if I'm comfortable, I go ahead. If I'm not, I choose another country to work in or another place to be in, rather than, I don't know. And then why do we have these people still going to those same places?
Because they need money. They need to cater for their
Why
families.
can't they go to the UK? Why do they have
Because
it's expensive.
It's easier and cheaper to go to the Gulf countries compared to the UK and Europe. Yeah. Honestly.
If it's cheaper, then just stay in Kenya or go to Uganda. Or Tanzania.
Or Jirani.
Yeah.
But Jirani,
it just breaks my heart, because, again, we are looking for greener pastures, but we are willing to go to a place where we know the history. We understand what we are going to face, but we still choose that path.
Yeah, people are hopeful that it won't happen to them. Here's the thing. It might happen to you. That's the scariest part.
Sure.
Personally,
you think boys have the same problem?
No, boys are better.
I wouldn't say it's being skeptical, or I'd say it's people are willing to take the risk just to earn the money. So people are willing to go there, risk take, see if it will happen to them. If it won't, they'll be like, maybe those stories are fake, because I haven't witnessed it myself. So I don't think it was real. So some people, speaking of going to the UK and US, right now going to the US, you have to have 1 million Kenya shillings in your bank
account, just seated there doing nothing.
Yeah, just seated there for at most 6 months or a year. So people are taking those options of going to the Gulf countries and the UAE, because they know it's much cheaper, and they also don't want to use money to be able to stay there, because there you don't pay rent, you get free food, there's nothing you're paying for.
How much do these people earn?
It's
Not
not
too
a lot.
much. They get even like 50K.
I think the least
For real?
person earns around 50 to 80,000, because
Are you sure the least?
Yeah, the least gets.
No, I know somebody who used to get
50,000
30 and they're in
80,000.
Saudi. 30,000 Kenya
I think it
shillings.
depends.
But that's the pay rate that they're supposed to be paid.
Yeah.
Because even a starting barista gets paid around 80,000. Where after 6 months, if you've done well and your boss likes you, so you'll start getting paid around 120, 140,000 a month.
For a barista, they have to pay rent.
No.
You're
It
given
depends-
accommodation.
It depends with the company you're working for, and it also depends if you're the one moving out. You have the option to move out and start paying your own rent.
Oh, so
'Cause-
there's somewhere you're given for you to
Yeah,
stay.
when you go there, you get free accommodation, free gym,
Free
everything.
food.
Yeah, free food. The only thing that is costly is when you buy clothes, jewelry.
But there's
also
downtown.
traveling. Yeah, and traveling is like 4 shillings. Using train. Yeah, 4 bob.
Okay.
So it's
That
really
makes
cheap.
sense. That makes sense. But again, even for you to get that kind of connection, again, it starts from where we are talking about. Before you even leave these borders, what have you gone through?
Yeah.
You have to pay
You have
people
to
lots.
obviously corruption.
Yeah.
Corruption. You have to. Yeah, you have to suffer to go there.
So at least
You
for
have to
that
suffer.
person, they're able to send, even they can decide to send
But-
more than half of that money back home.
Yeah, but the best thing is the best thing about going there. Once you go there, at least you have the connections. You've built the database there, and you're able to go back there without even using or having to bribe someone to go back there, because you have the papers already. You just come into Kenya to renew the papers and go back. But for those people who have never been there before, it's actually hectic. You have to go through the procedure of getting a passport. If it comes out late, you go back to check for it. You're asked to pay 20 or 10,000 Kenya shillings again. The visa as well.
Yeah.
The visa is hectic. You have to wait an year or 2 years to get the visa. So it's hectic. I won't lie. But once you're there,
Things are
it's
smooth.
a smooth sailing. But it also depends with the company you're working for, because you'll go there with knowledge that you're going to work there as a barista or a head chef. But once you arrive there, you end up washing the toilets.
And the watchman.
Yeah, so it's a bargain of whether your boss likes you or not.
Yeah.
Because my brother went there as a head chef, but as soon as he arrived, the following day he was supposed to start work. He was given a broom, a sweep, and everything, and he was asked to wash the toilet. So it took him about four months. He washed the toilets for 4 months. That's when the boss started giving him like raises. That's when he actually went to the kitchen.
It's
after,
like you
4
have to
months.
prove yourself,
It depends with the company as
but
well.
you're proving yourself on something you didn't sign up for.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to prove for them that you can swallow your pride and swallow the pain, for them to actually acknowledge that okay, it's enough is enough. The same way Kenya, it's the same way everywhere.
There's something, yeah.
The
Most
same-
of the places you have to prove yourself,
It's the
even in
same
our
way.
own job places.
Even a good
Before
example.
you're even given a pay rise of like 5,000 Kenya
Yeah.
shillings, you're asked why
What
why
are you
should
putting to the
we
table?
give you a rise?
Yeah. So it's the same thing everywhere, every platform, whether politics, whether everywhere. You know, one thing with the bosses or the political leaders is someone who's smarter than you can't employ you if you're smarter than them.
Than them.
They'll have to employ someone smarter than, like someone dumber than them. So it will be easier for them to manipulate you
And control them.
and control you. So that's why it's very easy for those white people or Caucasian people to look down upon us or manipulate us because they're well off, or like they believe they're well
Superior.
learned and superior than us. whereas they don't actually know who you are in your country. They don't give a damn about who you are, where are you from. They just judge you by
Your skin color.
your skin color, and
By virtue of just being African.
and they're your boss, so they're technically superior than you.
And you came to us, so
and you came to us.
have to do
So
what
basically,
we...
you're desperate.
Oh, gosh.
You're not desperate. So yeah.
Busara, do you still want to go? So far.
I'll think about it.
Your mind hasn't shifted. But you see, even the things that we're talking about, I would even want to travel to all these countries and just talk to these young people who have traveled for whatever reason and get their experiences. Let's say someone who has been there for 2 months, 1 year, 5 years, and the difference between this period of time, and get the differences and understand what their perception is after staying there, and also to understand someone who has been there for a short period, will they want to reverse whatever has already happened and just go back home and start from where they left?
Most of them want to come back home.
Really?
When you talk to people abroad, they're like, wow, if you have a job or if you have a stable income, please, I beg you, stay where you are.
don't have
Because,
to.
you don't have to go, because it's hectic over there.
Yeah.
They are going through hell. Especially if you're a student, and because if you're a student, there's some hours that you need to work. You can't work like full time. Let's say you can work like 4 hours, and you need to pay your own school fees. You need to pay your own accommodation. So it's even more stressful.
Yeah.
But when you're in Kenya, you might stay home, or you can just pay like a hostel and share cost with your roommate. So most of them want to come back because it's uko siku zuri.
We are heading somewhere where we don't have to travel for this kind of services, but the amount of money that we have to part with, most Kenyans have to contribute and put WhatsApp groups to make sure they can afford those systems. Yet we still pay for the likes of SHA. Why?
Yep.
We pay very high taxes, but schools right now in Kerio Valley,
They don't even have
what is happening?
classrooms.
You understand? So we when we look at this like from the root cause, our government has failed us as youth. Failed us thoroughly. Like if we are to blame anyone,
The government. Pull up your socks, government.
if they don't want us to go, they need to level up and be answerable. Where are our taxes going? We work so hard. Show us evidence. Like if we cannot see where our taxes are going, we will leave. We go to university when we are done with school.
Yeah, like
We
right
take
now,
our
there are many
expertise
graduates. There are many
elsewhere.
graduates. There are many graduates who they don't have jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to finalize.
Do you know, I
This
have a
topic.
friend, someone
Yeah.
I went to school with.
Yeah.
Maybe he will watch this podcast. He is, with all due respect to what he's doing, he's a donda. What are
Tout.
they?
A
He's a
tout.
tout.
Ah.
I saw him hanging on a matatu dangerously, and I was scared. I held my breath for a minute. He was he has a voice for days. I wish I had that voice. He sits here speaking or speaks on radio, and you wish to have that voice. He's a tout. Not that being a tout is a bad job. It pays his bills, but he wanted to be something else that he is not. And it pains my heart because that is the life of many young people in the country and in Africa in general.
Yeah.
Going back to the same governance, I feel like our leaders are focusing on building their names rather than building systems that work. Like, for example, if you go outside, you'll find a location where you don't even know who the mayor is, but the systems are working. But in Kenya, you'll know this person.
This tank is by Honorable Busara.
Renovated by not
Exactly.
even built.
It's like it's a popularity race rather than an impact race. And I feel like once we change, and I love the fact that we're making these leaders accountable to what they're doing. Like if you're doing something that is unhinged, like you cut the show, get out of here. And I love that about our generation. I love that about the youth. But as it is right now, again, our systems are failing us. And another thing, I'm still going to echo what you were saying about the peer pressure and the societal pressure. It may seem as if I'm about to retract my words, but but I feel like abroad has really good PR. That's not actually true because a lot of people are suffering, but they're lying.
Yeah, they're making it. it's like roses and
I wanted to,
milk and
to
honey.
quote someone, and then I was like, God, teach me. Hold my mouth.
They're hiding the pain in
Yeah.
the smile.
Yeah. Before I give the chance to Sean to give his closing remarks, I'll tell this to the youth. Let us show up. Let us vote. We should not be silent, especially in matters politics, because that is the only way that we're going to change governance and hold leaders accountable. And that way, we are going to have the country that we deserve. We're going to get the services that we deserve.
So basically, my takeaway is I've learned that different people have different mindsets. Some people just want to go to abroad basically to get white-collar jobs. Others want to go and come back with the same mentality, but with big pockets. Some people just want to go there just to increase their pockets. And yeah, we need to actually talk about this more, because I feel like this is one of the things that are affecting youths in Kenya, and we need a clear mind and a clear mindset in terms of everything, and also choosing schools, choosing jobs, careers, and everything.
Yeah, my takeaway is that us as the youths, we have to be involved in ensuring that we get solutions to our problems. And it is in every aspect. It will be in terms of innovation, creativity, and also in matters politics. We have to show up to ensure that we hold these leaders accountable. That way, we are going to create the country that we want. We are going to have leaders that will address the issues and ensure that they have policies that make the systems work. Yeah, that's it for me.
It will seem as if I'm repeating myself because again, my takeaway is that you can still stay home and still make money. You don't have to leave. You don't have to disappear. But if you decide to go, don't go and don't come back. Like if you decide to go, then please come back to the motherland because we need you. Africa needs you. Yeah. And you need to come back after everything that you've learned, bring it back. And then now we can develop our country. Yeah.
Nice. For me, I think what I will tell the youth, first of all, when let's say you've gone to school, and most young people right now, the young people that we're talking about, those especially who are in the working class, are doing things that their parents wanted them to do, not what they really desired to do, True. So apart from that which you've gone to school to do, which you finish and then you realize, I don't even want to do this anymore. Maybe that's why people are venturing into very different things that they're not, soul-bound. So apart from that other thing that maybe you were meant to do, also try and venture into something that you really like doing, because those things that we like doing are the ones that bring so much money our way, so much fulfillment at the end of the day. And joy, So do this thing that maybe you were meant to do or you're forced to do, but also go after that thing that you really like to do as a young person, because when you're happy, you can move mountains. When you're fulfilled, there's a lot of things that you can do when you're happy. Take away from this conversation, going is not bad. Staying is not bad. Choose your hard. Choose your hard.
Choose your struggle.
Choose your struggle. They say everything is hard, everything is easy, depending with the angle you're looking at it from. Choose your soft, choose your hard, and live life.